if this can happen, it almost seems like anything can happen, you know? So it's, I think, simply a matter, the thing that worries me is that after a couple of weeks, it won't seem so bad and that no one will care anymore. That's what worries me. Yeah, that it'll become normalized. And a lot of, when I, said earlier,
they made sure that didn't happen. That was their biggest worry. They made sure that didn't happen. They kept this top of mind every single day. They were relentless. Guys, I'm going to be blunt. Well, I'm always blunt. Republicans have gone to fucking sleep. Republicans are asleep. The GOP is asleep. The base is asleep. Everyone is asleep. Republicans right now, if they were smart, and I say this as someone who will never vote for another Republican in my life because of how betrayed, well, not just because of how betrayed I feel by them, also because I just generally don't agree with many of their ideas, especially the ideas that have come out since Biden got in office. But I'm going to say this as someone who will never vote for Republicans again in my life. They have fallen asleep at the wheel. I saw James Lindsay a couple weeks ago on Truth Social say something to the effect of, Republicans have learned helplessness. As soon as they lost, they whined and whined and whined, and then they said, well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it. They always cheat anyway, and there's just nothing we can do, and even if we vote next time, they're going to cheat, and then they went to sleep, and they stopped trying. Republicans have not been trying since Biden entered office. They have not been even trying, not remotely. These people, from 2 days after Donald Trump won the election in 2016, they never stopped. They never let up. They were working every single day to do everything they could possibly think of to ensure that it never happened again. Every single day. They never let it become normalized. They never stopped. Okay, they may have had moments of complaining about it and feeling entitled, as this woman did earlier, but guess where she ended at? We can't let this be normalized. That's where she ended at. The reason that they win, the reason that the literal socialists are dictating the agenda, the reason that the literal socialists are the ones dictating CNN's talking points, the reasons that we heard things mentioned in this presentation that most of us hadn't heard of in 2016, but guess what? Our common talking points today, the reason that all that is true is that they never stop, they never give up, they never take their toys and go home, which is what Republicans do every single effing time. And Republicans are still showing us, by the way, that they have learned nothing from what happened in 2020. Not a damn thing. After Donald Trump won in 2016, they scrambled to put together this panel in 2 days. They were already planning. Republicans, well, I guess, we lost. What can you really do? Why don't we create our own parallel economy, even though that's not going to happen either because there aren't enough people to support that? I don't know what more to tell people. Republicans don't want to win. The GOP doesn't want to win. And even though between the two parties, I think the GOP might be just marginally better, although worse on many things, but just marginally better, they're never going to get my vote because they don't want to win. And I'm a very big fan of, you get what you fucking deserve. If you want to put in no effort, if you just want to whine and complain and take your toys to go home, if you want to sabotage yourself, if you want to spit in the faces of people who could have voted for you, then you don't deserve to win. I'm sorry. I may not like these people. I don't like these people at all. I think their ideas are stupid. But they deserve to win because they show up and fight for it every single day, even after they suffered one of the most devastating losses of their lifetime. They didn't make themselves a victim. They may have whined and complained and acted like it, like publicly, but then what they do, they got their asses together and they organized and they collaborated and they communicated with each other and they went out and they actually did things. They didn't just like whine and complain on Twitter all fucking day. That's why they win. Because they show up and they do things. Do not believe ever that you're going to win if you're just sitting behind a keyboard all day. That is not going to work.
I am the daughter of refugees.
Hang on. Scott Presler has not adopted a defeatist attitude. Scott Presler is telling you people the truth and you're not fucking listening. Scott Presler, for the first time last week, came out and told Republicans the truth, which is that there will not be a red wave in November because Republicans have not done shit. They refuse to do anything. That's not a defeatist attitude. That was telling you the truth. Scott Presler should have told you guys that months ago. But no, when he does say Republicans like push back on him saying, Scott, that's not true, be optimistic. Scott Presler has no reason to be optimistic. Scott Presler is actually one of the very few people out there every single day in the real world. And he keeps a positive face on, and he finally told you guys the truth, which I've been trying to tell you for fucking months. Which is that there is not going to be a red wave because Republicans have done nothing. They've done nothing. So no, I don't think he's had a defeatist attitude. He's told you the truth. Will people listen? No. No, they won't listen. They won't do anything. Ah, I see. All right, Fish Addict. I'm glad we're on the same page.